Mike's Daily Podcast.
1167 is the episode. Hello, it's Mike Matthews broadcasting from Cafe Anyway, located somewhere in Podcastro Valley, Mont. Today, as we begin a Labor Day 3-day weekend, we speak with Jarel and the segment Jarelnime, where we get into some really deep stuff about Brock Turner, about the whole
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Well, the world of anime may not be as colorful and happy and simple as you think. We find out
Mike's Daily Podcast.
more about that. Well, a couple days ago I ate at a local coffee house, and I sat there and I ate my food like I was a little rat, and it was delicious until a lady came over and sat in front of me and started. But then she got up again, and then she sat down. She got up, and she was like doing this dance. It was weird.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
She was doing like a little show for me in this coffee place that's very busy in Fremont.
Mike's
Getting up and sitting down.
Daily
And I started to
Podcast.
think about all the things,
Yeah!
the times that I have gone to events, concerts, restaurants, whatever, where people... like, all of a sudden, the main event that I'm there for, let's say in this case it was my sandwich. It was a delicious sandwich. It was a salami sandwich. Had a little bit of provolone on it. It was delicious. The main event suddenly becomes this odd person that does an odd... Maybe I am just an interested in human behavior type guy. But it was fascinating. At least that place that I went to eat didn't charge me 50 cents for using my credit card. The rule is at a lot of restaurants in the Bay Area now, if you don't spend $10, you can use your credit card, but you have to add an extra 50 cents to it. And, oh, Mike, you don't understand. You don't own a restaurant. Yes, I do. I own Cafe Anyway. This wonderful place that you're at now. Cafe Anyway. But no, it seems like I never encountered this in Alabama. Here, it's like everywhere. Or you go to a place where they don't accept credit cards, but hey, we got an ATM right over there. You can use that ATM and get your cash out at a fee, and there'll be a fee added to that too. Look who just walked in. Hi, Mike. It's Benita, the rodeo queen. How y'all doing?
That's a disgruntled fiddle player, tell you what.
What?
You know, how is a mom and pop operation supposed to survive in today's world with these crazy points that credit card companies put on the charges that y'all make when you buy your cheap little Chinese food for $5 at some Fremont restaurant, tell you what.
What?
I'm just saying, you're the problem. And if I was eating with y'all, I'd do a little dance too.
You would? Do a little dance, make a little love, get down tonight?
Shut up.
Hey, you know, there should be a disclaimer. I've heard a lot of conservatives talk on conservative talk radio. That's a great place to find conservatives talking, by the way. It's conservative talk radio. Just so you know. Oh, look who else just walked in.
Hi, Mike. I make the root beer. I'm the brewmaster. Oh, boy, everybody dance.
We're dancing to the root beer and the beer master making the root beer.
Yeah, oh, boy.
That's wonderful. And he's pouring me root beer, too.
Mike, enjoy it.
I will. How come it's burning right through the glass? That's kind of scary. I don't know. I don't know if I want to drink this now.
That's all right, Mike. Just ignore that little fire right there.
Oh, okay. Hey, this older lady, a woman walked in.
Yeah. She's a friend of mine.
Sorry, I didn't mean to say you were older. Ouch, ow, ow. She's got a good right hook.
Hi, Mike. My name is Michelle Wernerbrugger, and I own the Venetian Apron
It's a wonderful new program where you can order online delicious food. Your first 3 meals are free, Mike. Enjoy the Venetian apron. First 3 meals free. It's quality meals at a quality price. And you don't have to cook anymore. We also bring you a jar of Soylent, too.
Yeah, Mike, a jar of Soylent. It's disgusting. Oh, boy.
Thank you, Michelle Werner, whatever. Yeah, that's a great thing. It's a big thing these days, is getting healthy prepared food. Healthy prepared food just for you. Dabney Coleman's in a new TV show? Where's that sound effect music when I needed it? Good old Dabney Coleman. Remember the show he was on? Riptide. It's on TV Land all the time. Awesome show. All right, so what you're saying, Michelle Werner Bergen, is that you make this meals for people and then they don't have to cook and all that stuff.
That's right, Mike. It's wonderful. You should buy a whole bunch. Sign up for a year, and you'll get nothing back.
Can I put it on my credit card?
There's a 50 cents charge.
50 cents?
50 cents.
Mike, I love her.
Wonderful. It's great to see you in love, Brewmaster.
I love her, and I love Volkswagen.
Fahrvergnügen. It's what makes a car a Volkswagen.
Okay, good. Well, it's been... Oh.
I'm so in love.
Yes, we're in love, Mike.
Okay, well, you guys have a wonderful day as they leave, and... Oh, Benita, you're leaving too? Yeah, I'm all in love with my husband, the Disgruntled Fiddle Player. We're gonna go outside and enjoy the Labor Day weekend by kissing and smooching. Bye! They're gonna go kissing and smooching. Well, let's get to the segment Jarelnime. First, just want to quickly tell you that there's the website, Mike'sDailyPodcast.com, with links to all the wonderful things that make up Mike's Daily Podcast. The podcast picture, for example. Oh, here it is now.
And here's today's podcast picture.
In Podcastro Valley, there's this wonderful place. It is called Coal Canyon Lake, which actually, the lake is gone. It started to dissipate as the summer wore on, and usually around September it's completely gone anyway, but they kind of preempted the matter about a month ago, sucked all the water out, and now it's this big dry dirt area that is going to soon become a park. And they're going to, there is still water that comes through there, and they're going to have it just go straight through the park instead of stop in that basin area and become a lake. It's amazing what they're doing there, working on that right now. But there's a Coal Canyon swim area. It's a big pool, and I had never been there. I have lived here just about 7 years, and I'd never been there before, so I finally went. The main reason why I didn't go is because I don't have kids. You kind of need to have kids to go there. But I said, screw it. It's a hot day. I'm going to jump in water. I don't care what amount of feces is in this water. I'm just going to go into it. So I went, and it was nice. It was warm. I got out, and then I showered for 3 days. It was wonderful. You got to go check it out yourself and then shower for 3 days. Maybe 4 days. 4 days just to be on the safe side. Maybe shower for a whole month. Even though it's California and showering for a whole month, you would probably get arrested, and that would be absolutely, completely right of you being arrested for wasting that much water. At Mike'sDailyPodcast.com, we also have links to Amazon. If you're going to buy anything on Amazon, go through that link at Mike'sDailyPodcast.com. That helps us out. Also, there is a link to PayPal. If you do that, you'll get a special greeting from all the Cafe Anyway characters. And oh, by the way, Bing got weird yesterday. I don't know. I use Bing. I'm all about rewards. I only use credit cards that, give me rewards, and I pay them on time and all that. And that's why I do use credit cards and hardly ever carry cash. That's why I do get mad at restaurateurs that charge me for using credit cards. I love the reward type stuff. And Bing, when you search, and I do a lot of searching, not for porn only. I searched for all kinds of stuff, a wide array of things. And especially to prepare for this wonderful podcast that you're enjoying right now. And I use the Bing thing because they give you rewards for all the searching. Well, all of a sudden, I went from I had 600 points. And that's usually about the time I'll redeem it for something. One time I got Chipotle, and you're saying, why? And I said, because I like to vomit. And another time there was, a link to, Burger King, and you might say, why? And I'd say, because I like to carry extra pounds around my waist area. And it's delicious. And then sometimes that feces as well. But there's in the food. It's all I'm saying is fast food. You got to be careful. All I'm saying is all of a sudden my 600 points turned to 6,000 points. And I thought, oh my gosh, there must be a mistake in the computer matrix. I'm going to use that 6,000 and I'm going to redeem stuff now. Well, all of a sudden though, everything that you usually redeem for let's say 100 points jumped up to 1,000 points. So somehow there was some website-wide error going on, and I not only noticed it on my work computer but at my home computer. So I don't know what happened with Bing. And I don't know, I did catch a little bit of the game last night where Kaepernick sat down again against the San Diego team, the Chargers, the Pirates, San Diego, the Whales, the San Diego Fish Tacos? I don't know, whatever the name of the team is down there. Chargers, right? Whatever they are. Sorry, San Diego. Don't know your teams. I don't know anybody's teams. I know, though, we got a team called the Giants, but that's baseball, right? 49ers is football, Raiders, of course. And then, so I was hanging out with my friend Tom. We were watching that, saw Kaepernick do his little sit-down kneel thing, and didn't stand up during the anthem. And the controversy wages on all the local Bay Area television stations this morning. That's all they're talking about. So, whatever. We discussed that on the last show with the Marco Minute and Marco, so that was cool. It's an interesting time. But you can express yourself however way you'd like. You can email me, mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com, or you can comment on any of the social media we are on, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, all the links to all those at mikesdailypodcast.com. And we read your comments on...
Oh my God!
Email for email and your calm and not so comments.
So yeah, and in fact, you might want to comment on something Jarrell says, because we're going to get into some interesting topics here. In fact, we'll give you all that information about where you can contact us again at the end of this. But here we get into the segment Jarelnime.
Jarelnime.
We're speaking with my friend Jarelnime. Jarell, how's it going?
It goes. I'm a little bit distraught considering some news I've heard in the society, but for the most part, it's going okay.
I think a lot of people would agree with you about that Stanford guy, whoever got released.
Yeah, that is indeed. We really need to take a look at our judicial system, and we need to hold folks accountable. As we hold our regular citizens accountable, our family, our friends for their actions, we need to do the same thing for the governmental entities. Because when it really comes down to it, the citizens actually have the power. But the problem is we're not standing together because we're so consumed by our differences, not realizing we're actually in the same boat.
Whoa. You just laid down some heavy knowledge on me. I agree with you. We're in the same boat.
That's what it really comes down to. And in other news, in relations to anime, there is actually a problem going on.
What?
Yes, it comes to find out that an anime enthusiast, possibly an otaku. Okay, let me get some background.
Wait, what's an otaku?
An otaku is an individual who is heavily indulged in a particular interest. It could, in most of the time, it's anime, to which they collect everything from animes, mangas, which are basically hand-drawn novels, if you will, and also other merchandise such as figurines, plushies, bed sheets of the favorite characters, pillows, cases. Basically, whatever merchandise is related to the anime, this person will collect those particular items. There was one otaku, if I would just say it this way, I don't know if they were for sure, but their word is in the community that this individual has actually committed suicide by word on the street that they could not be with, I'm going to drop another term on you, their waifu.
Their waifu.
Yeah, so a waifu is basically a person, I'll put it this way. It is a fictional character that one develops a huge crush for. And so they constantly imagine this person as their own life partner. Mm-hmm. Or it could be just a means of just a crush. There are some cases to where some people could imagine them as their potential partner, but it's really no more than a crush. The same thing can be said about husband, though, which is basically the opposite of wife, which is basically husband. So the girls who like guys, they would say, "Oh, that's my husband, though." So they're basically saying that's their crush. And obviously guys for waifu. So unfortunately, this guy committed suicide, and now there's speculations as to why this happened. And at one point, anime was given most of the flack for the reason of this death. But if we really look at it, it's not even just anime to where this happens. How many celebrities who actually are among the living who have went into dysfunctional behaviors to which some of their fans have actually followed into dysfunctional behavior. So the issue really is that maybe there is some psychological disconnect going on with the people around these individuals who are going into this distraught behavior. So that being said, what we need to do is we need to make sure that we are actually maintaining a connection with these individuals, that when they start isolating themselves for extended periods of times, we really need to look into that, because that's really what the core of the issue is. It doesn't just start like this. There is a developmental process that causes them to become disconnected from society around them.
Right. And then they think that drawn image that just came out as some guy or woman that drew that image is real. Like, when I found out Jessica Rabbit wasn't real, I was very sad.
Yeah, but you grew out of it at the same time.
That's true.
It also because you had people around you to help you through that. Some of these people may not have that. We don't know if this individual may have been bullied or may have been shunned out by others in society, but we have to factor that in. Furthermore, it needs to be understood that with fictional characters, in the mind it's processing, especially when it's distraught from being disconnected from others in society, that person has yet to experience any discrepancies with that fictional character. And that fictional character may the personality of that fictional character may resonate in compatible chemistry with the individual who is distraught. Oh. So now, look, I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a psychiatrist, but if you just look at the basics of this, it comes down to how far disconnected is this person with other folks in society.
Right. It's making up for something that's lacking in his life. People.
Exactly. It's feeling of the void, as many folks do just with people of society. When they're not very connected with family, they search for friends with the concept of family in mind. So whenever there is a void, the human is going to try to find somewhere else where that void can be filled.
It's so easy today for people to just be locked up in their rooms and be on the computer, and you can have food delivered to you. They could just live in and never see people.
I think another portion of it is that many of us are not taking the time to really seek understanding about one another. We're so caught up in our own particular interests that we don't necessarily want to seek understanding why someone else may have an interest in something else, and possibly we could even learn something from it, or we just shun it altogether. At a point where it's almost as if we are scared of difference, and that's a problem.
That's true.
And if you really look at it, when do anime enthusiasts ever actually cosplay? Many times when there's only anime conventions or when it's Halloween. And I've actually heard cases of where cosplayers who are at Halloween contests actually win first place, and the competitors who may have gotten their costume simply from the store, and I'm not saying any disrespect to that, but it makes no sense for you to sit there and be angry at someone who actually took time with their costume and people actually voted liking that costume. Because at that point, all you're doing is just shifting blame. So if you want to have a chance at winning the contest from a costume perspective, you're going to have to be more artistic about it.
Well, it's good that they get out then, and because they are seeing other people at the convention, and like the Pokemon Go people are getting outside and walking around and seeing other people, fresh air. That's good. But don't diss on the cosplayers. And you don't know there's such, at least they tried, right? That's even if they bought it from the store. Who knows? Maybe the store charged a lot, and they don't have a lot of money. That could be it too.
Yeah, I mean, many of the cosplayers, some of them actually, they order costumes online. That's one of the things they do. And then in some cases, they actually do alterations. Like they will break out the sewing machine and different materials, clothing materials, and then create this custom costume along with props, which is stuff you can get at your local art store, such as styrofoam and all that, and paint and things like that, and then just bring it all together. It comes down to your imagination. And I think that's one other thing that we're starting to drift away from is imagination. That somehow animated characters are so childish that we can't be a part of that. But in fact, what it really comes down to it is you have to know what is real, what is unreal, and know the limits between the two boundaries. Because it's like I still watch cartoons to this day, and I still watch anime myself. At the same time, I'm cautious that I don't mix the two together and end up doing something dysfunctional in this society.
Right, and don't stalk celebrities. Stop stalking me, people. I know I'm a big celebrity, and everyone wants, they want a little piece of Mike, but there's not enough for everyone. You're just going to have to get me through the podcast. As well with Jarelnime.
Yeah, if anyone has any other questions, how can they get a hold?
Well, that's a good question. Mike's Daily Podcast at gmail.com. Mike's Daily Podcast.
That's right. So contact Mike. He will forward the question over to me, and then we'll seek an answer for you.
Woo! All right. Thank you, Jarell. Have a great Labor Day weekend.
I will try, but it'll probably involve housework.
No. All right, good luck with that. Wear your overalls.
Will do. I'll also wear gloves and a hard hat.
Thank you, Jarell. As we go outside a cafe anyway, we're bringing Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcastro Valley. Whoops, I just fell into a lake. Wonderful. Next show, it is going to be the wonderful Madame Rootabega, Valentino, Bison Bentley. Enjoy your Labor Day weekend.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com. Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye.
Murky.